What can you realistically expect after 1 year of building software as a service apps? Now, let me be clear on this. I'm not here to sell you a course or show off how I made $5 million in the past week, but rather I will tell you exactly what you will learn and who you will become over the next year of your life. I'm going to be totally honest about this. After making over 5 web and mobile apps, I am still well in the red in terms of profit and loss. But is that really a failure? First thing I learned, and what you will learn as well if you start down on this journey, is why your apps don't work. For me personally, it boiled down to 3 reasons. I didn't do enough marketing, I didn't validate the idea, or my app simply wasn't good enough. A lot of solopreneurs tell you to sell before you build and do all of that stuff, but how do you actually get customers? I decided to opt for a much more simple option and simply copy something which already works. Now, this doesn't solve the marketing problem and the idea of your app not being good enough, but it does give you a customer base straight away and something you can research and make sure your app is actually good and solves the problem. Copying other people's ideas may not be fun, but it works. And it's something in which I am doing for my financial planner. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video on how that's going. I believe it's going to be incredibly valuable for anyone looking to start their solopreneurship journey. While you don't necessarily know whether you'll make money or not before you'll launch the app, you definitely do know at least some of the lessons you'll learn in doing the process. I built my apps while studying full-time at university and working 25 hours a week part-time. That's a pretty full-on schedule, and I had to navigate my day in order to find little bits of time I can use to work on my project. And while that wasn't necessarily the most fun time on earth, that did prepare me a lot for my current circumstance where I have to work full-time and part-time because of my university degree. Is it easy? I definitely wouldn't say so, but I would not have been able to do it without learning to manage my time for my projects first. Finding time for your project on the side of what you're already doing while staying in shape and upholding your personal relationships will definitely teach you an enormous amount about time management, and you will need it in life 100%. This brings me to my next point, and the next lesson doing a solo project will 100% teach you: responsibility. Being a solo founder means that there is no one to hold your hand and you have to do everything yourself. That includes responding to customer requests and fixing anything if it is broken. This gives a lot of freedom, however, also assigns you a lot of responsibility. Because when you have a customer who's paying you money, they will not back down until they either get a refund or get what they paid for. And you don't want to go out issuing refunds, do you? Being a solo founder also means living with the consequences of your actions. If you don't do what the customer wants, you will get a bad review and you will get less customers. Unfortunately, I had to learn that the hard way, which brings me to my next point: learning new things. Learning is a skill, and the more you do it, the better at it you will become. Even though I'm currently in my penultimate year of software engineering degree, 90% of things I learned by myself. The most I learned from university is how to make an API, not how to actually make it useful for customers. On your solopreneurship journey, you will get exposed to a lot of technologies and you will work with a lot of technologies. You will make decisions and you will live with the consequences of those decisions. Because I did so, and because I looked at so many technologies and dug through countless lines of code, I became a lot better professionally. And if you follow the solopreneurship journey, you will become that too. The most surprising thing that came to me professionally is how much easier it became at work once I've done so many projects. I'm currently a full-time intern at a large tech company, and I was so surprised about how much easier it is to contribute for me now than it was at my first internship 1 year ago. Because I spent the entire year learning about new technologies, reading other people's code, and making projects myself, I was able to start contributing to the team in a semi-independent manner within the first week or 2 of my internship. If you do so as well, I can guarantee you that in a year's time, you can expect very similar results. This brings me to my next point. Companies love independent interns and juniors. If you show up to a company as a junior engineer or an intern, and you don't need to ask for help every 5 seconds, you will become praised very, very quickly. When you're building your own SaaS, you have an idea in your head, and you're trying to translate that idea into code. At work, you're doing exactly the same thing, and if you can do one, you can definitely do the other. Not many interns actually are independent, so that's an opportunity for you to differentiate yourself very, very quickly. You're actually more likely to get a job as well if you have something of your own. Last year, when I was looking for a part-time job, the job market was absolutely terrible. Every single listing had 500 plus applications, and all of them required 3+ years of experience as well as a university degree. Still, I managed to land a pretty good and high-paying remote job because I was able to demonstrate that I can work independently and actually deliver stuff. Because think about it, People take you a lot more seriously when you actually have something to show. If you're the person who constantly says, oh, I want to build my SaaS, but never actually start, what do you think people think of you? Start, make something, and if it doesn't work, you can put it on your resume as a personal project. There is no downside whatsoever.